My name is Campbell, and you have reached Stitch Therapy. I'm a therapist by trade and a cross-stitch fanatic by passion, so welcome to my channel. That's Taki. Okay. If you're new here, welcome. Feel free to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and then you will get notifications of my videos. I don't post very often. I post about once a month. That's kind of my wheelhouse. I am a full-time therapist, so and my weekends get really full really fast. So yeah, about once a month is when I post. I think the last one I did was in December around Christmas time. So happy New Year, everybody. It is February 2nd, 2026. Today is the pagan holiday of Imbolc. Imbolc is halfway through the winter solstice, December 31st, and the summer solstice. And so Imbolc is the time of year in the ancient traditions where the rams and the ewes get together and they plan for new baby lambs, and also things are planted in the ground. New seeds are harvested, or the dried seeds are they start sprouting them so that they can get a harvest going. So happy Imbolc. Here are some symbols for Imbolc. If you don't know, there's St. Brigid's cross because it's also known as St. Brigid's Day or Goddess Brigid's Day, and so that's what that is. This is the well, sacred well. It's that's also a symbol of the pagan rituals around Imbolc, is the well, water, bringing the well up. We light white candles, and there's corn dollies and all kinds of things, and then we put ribbons on lots of things. For instance, on St. Brigid's cross. So Brigid was also a goddess of the harvest, the home, the hearth, and crafters and painters, and basically women who were doing things indoors in the winter, sewing and crafting and all that kinds of stuff. And so what you do is you would put a St. Brigid's cross or Brigid's cross in the window, and you would ask the goddess or St. Brigid, whichever, because the Christians took over all the pagan holidays, as we know. And you would put a cross in the window and invite the goddess or St. Brigid to come in and bless your home for the rest of the cold winter days, and bless the new year, the baby lambs coming, and the harvest coming. So this is a St. Brigid's cross that I did out of straws that had like a silver gold, not just like a pinkish goldish shine to it. It was really hard to do this this Celtic St. Brigid's cross with paper straws. So I did it again using these pipe cleaners that you can get from Michael's for kids. It's like my first grader version of St. Brigid's cross. Anyway, these are downstairs in my windows, and I just wanted to show you. So happy Imbolc, everybody. Okay. What have I got going? I had a picture of a jean jacket last time on the video, and I said how much I like this. I don't know if I remember showing this to you, but I really love this pattern, and I have this pattern, but I didn't have a jean jacket. So yesterday when I went out shopping, because I'm finally dug out of the snow, right, this past week, I went to buy bones at Tractor Supply for my dogs, because they like to chew on all the bone. And I found this really cool Wrangler jacket. Oh, it's beautiful. And it's lined with, it's like lined inside. It's really nice. And the back of it was what I was really, so I'll show you the if you remember the picture. Where did it go? It's on the floor. I don't know where it is. So the back of it, I think, will hold that pattern. So guess what I'm going to do in 2025? Yes, I'm going to do that yin yang earth pattern, and I'm going to do it on the Wrangler jacket. And this was so fabulous because it was a It was $100 jacket, but it was on sale at Tractor Supply, and I got it for $76. Plus, it's lined. And when I looked online at Amazon, they didn't have this nice quality, and they were selling them for like, I mean, you could get it, but it was like 160 or something. So thank you, Tractor Supply, for my Wrangler jacket. For those of you who might be interested. Let's see. I do have a finish. I have all kinds of stitching. Let me look at my calendars. I told you guys that I was teasing this little almanac last time. I was like, oh, I don't know who would want to use that. I actually did. Here's what happened. I looked in the beginning of it, and they have these really cool questions in the beginning of this Stitcher's Almanac, 2026 Stitcher's Almanac that I got on Amazon. I just Googled a new calendar. So it is by, this calendar almanac is by, who is this by? Stitchingcabin.com. Okay, that's the stitchingcabin.com. Okay, and it's a very cool thing. I have to say, I am in love with it. And the woman's name is Haley at Stitching Cabin. And Haley, thank you for this if you are watching. I have stitched every day because that was one of my goals. She has these stitching aspirations questions in the beginning, and I actually wrote on them. Okay, so dream projects. My WIP full coverages are Soul and Intellect, Steampunk Cat Daddy, and Colorful Jesus. And I'm going to show you that. I've got some progress on all three of those. I have been stitching my fingers off. And also, I want to finish the 2025 temperature chart, which is a Tangleware project that I've showed before, but I stopped at the end of March, the first 2 days of April, and because of the snow, I've been sitting in the office and people have not been showing up, so I've been stitching on that, but I don't have any pictures today because it's under my desk at work. And I'm almost done with April on that. I might even be into May. I can't remember. But I have a lot to do on that, but I do have all of my temperatures laid out, and yeah, I want to get that finished this year. I'll get last year's temperatures finished this year, although I should probably do this year's because we are having record snows all over the country. For those of you in South Carolina, North Carolina, I'm so sorry. You guys are being dumped on. And even in Florida and Texas, you guys, you had electricity out in Texas. Wow. And Georgia apparently got snow. I mean, it's just been bizarre. This Arctic blast. Right. Yeah, it's been crazy. So I don't know. It's going to be, I think the groundhog is not going to come out anytime soon. He's just done. He's done with us. He's like, it's too freaking cold. I'm not coming out. So that was that. The heart project, they have you, she says, is there a design that feels especially personal and meaning to you this year? Well, for me, it's Steampunk Cat Daddy, because I've wanted to do that one for such a long time. It's my very first Heaven and Earth design. So I'm excited to be working on that. And I made some project on page 3. And I'm going to show you, I'll show you my whips, but not yet. Stitching intentions. I want to stitch every day. I want to my stitching to feel meaningful, mindful, enjoyable, and unpressured. I want it to be my mental health stitching. So that a way for me to decompress every day, every night, even if I only stitch for like an hour at night after work. And I have been doing that so far. Creative experiments. Is there a technique, fabric, thread I would like to play with this year? I would like to do fully finishes with like pillows, not just framing stuff. And I have a finish that I'm going to show you some fabric that I want to maybe do a pillow with. And then these are finished in the background, these that you've seen me on the whip wall here. These are finishes that I want to put some fabric on them or frame them or something. But there are 2 linen projects that I think I want to tackle this year. One is the dog sampler. Here's a picture of that. The other I've showed you before, which is the Stewart band sampler, and it is all kitted up on this whip wall and ready to go. This is my whip wall for those of you who are new or don't know me. These are where I put projects. I stick them in these little slots here, and then they're sort of sitting here. There's my long dog sampler bag. and these are old Christmas ones, and there's all these other ones that came as kits, and then there's ones over here that are kitted up. Okay, but those are the two that I think on this whip wall this year, I'd like to at least touch those. And then she has a really interesting question, which made me think. Sleeping Beauties and Unfinished Gems. Wow. I do have a small 4x4 sampler picture that needs to be finished because I haven't finished the back stitch of it. And then the gnome band, which was for my very first episode about 3 years ago. I showed you guys the gnome band that I started in the 80s. That's over here in a bag on a frame. And then Long Donk Sampler Opening Gambit, which is up here. That's this one. Right there. That's the Long Dog, which I've showed you before. That's been sitting around for like a year. I haven't touched it. So that would be something I could put my fingers on this year. Would be good. A gift. Is there someone I would love to stitch something for, and what would it be? Well, the Colorful Jesus, which is one of my full coverages whips that I'm going to show you, I'm going to stitch that for my sister, who's a really amazing theologian, and she really inspires me, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to give her that, and I hope she doesn't watch this channel because I don't want her to know I'm making it for her. Oh well, okay. And the other one is called Peekaboo Sloth, which I finished, and I'm going to show you that. And that is a gift for a friend of mine at work who I hope is not watching this channel, because I'm going to finish that, and I'm going to make it a desk pillow for her. So I'm going to do that this week, and I have some fabric that I want to show you that I'm going to put on the back. Legacy piece is going to be the Steampunk Cat Daddy and Soul and Intellect. Those are the two pieces that are full coverages that I will show you my whips of. Hey, come on, bud. This is Tinker. That's Tinker, my dog. There she is. Are you settling down, honey? Hey, Tinker, are you going to settle down? Are you going to settle down? Hello. Hello. Okay. So this is Tinker, and this is Taki. Yeah, this is Welcome to My World. So, events to join, Sal's and other things. I have a Friday night stitch group that we meet almost every Friday. I mean, we're pretty consistent. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, and so at least 4 of us, or 3 or 4 of us, at least 2 of us. Sometimes just 1 of us. Sometimes there's just me and 1 other person, but usually I'm on almost every Friday. So it's fun to have other people to stitch with. That's really, really fun to have people that, you know, you can be close with and bitch about the world with and stitch along with. That's great. And then also, I'm gonna post monthly for my Flosstube. I know I've been kind of inconsistent on this channel, and thank you, Taki. I hear you. I know. Yeah, I have a full life here in the house. I've been inconsistent, but I'm just going to let you guys know that this channel will only be posting monthly until I retire when I'm 70. I just turned 60, so I've got 10 years to go before I can actually do something more. Because my job as a therapist is a 40-hour job, and I work in a public hospital, and I get home, and quite often it's... I can stitch for an hour and calm myself down and get ready for the next day, but that's about it. I have to be careful about keeping myself, you know, available for people. And so I really only get a chance to post things, and I have very busy weekends as well because I'm part of a spiritual community and and in recovery, as many of you know, and so I have obligations there and things that are joyful for me in that way on the weekends. So filming videos takes a lot of time. I don't know if you guys realize it. Your guys are seeing maybe 45 minutes to an hour of a video. But for those of us who produce floss tubes, it takes a lot. We have to put pictures in, we have to edit, we have to make sure that what we're saying is clear. I've been trying to take more notes and be more focused and not sort of all over the place, which is my habit. And it does take a long time to be able to get a video out. I don't know about other people. I love the idea that I could just sit down And I did in the beginning. I kind of threw things together, and for some reason now I just feel like I want to be more mindful and intentional about doing the floss tubes. I figure if you're going to spend time stitching in front of my video, I want you to be able to see something that's fun and maybe inspiring. And I don't, I know that people only usually watch about 10 minutes of my videos and then they turn it off, which is a shame because some of the best stuff is at the end. So if you're about to turn this video off, just wait. There might be something that you'll like at the end, or maybe not. Maybe just go ahead and turn it off. That's fine. Just saying. But yeah, I look at the stats on the YouTube, and most people don't watch to the whole thing, so that's okay. And I appreciate you guys even checking in for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's nice to see you. So if you're leaving, bye. Have a nice week. Have a nice month. But if you're staying, I'll get back onto the topic. Yeah, it does take a long time to do these videos. So anyway, I'm just gonna stop that topic and move on to something else. So I did finish the little journal entries. It was just a couple sentences, and then I started. I'm a sticker girl, so I put stickers on January every day I stitched. Woo! Pretty impressive, huh? Yeah? Pretty impressive. There were only 4 days out of January I did not stitch. I think that's great. And here in February, we're already on February 2nd, and I'm going to be able to put another sticker on February 2nd because I'm going to stitch right after I finish this video. And a lot of my stitching in the end of December and January was this pattern. This is a finish that I'm going to make for my friend at work. It's called Peekaboo Sloth. Ugh, isn't he cute? He's really cute. The fabric is an 18 count Aida that was dyed by a viewer who sent me a stack of fabrics 2 years ago and sent me some more floss drops this year. Thank you, Katrina. She's in Georgia. She's fabulous, and we have a very nice correspondence going. But she sent me this fabric 2 years ago, and I just thought this was perfect for this pattern. There you go, Peekaboo Sloth. There it is. And the backing of this is going to be, so when I film, I just have to make way for dogs. That's all there is to it. I can't. I can't do anything about that. It's just I have to make way for dogs. Taki, stop. He likes to groom my other dog, Tinker. So anyway, the back of this is going to be this color. It's going to be this fabric. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I think that's going to look really good. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do, I have some weighted beads and stuff that I'm going to put in the bottom of it. I'm going to stitch it into a little bag at the bottom and then put it so that it can be like a standing tripod pillow for her desk, because she loves sloths. So I hope Beth isn't watching. Beth, if you're watching, don't be surprised. Okay. Pretend that you didn't see that, Beth. Okay. If you're watching. If not, surprise. Okay. I didn't want to go buy fabrics. That fabric actually came from a trip I took to Maine when I went to visit one of my stitching ladies in Maine, and we went to places and we got lots of fun stuff at a place called Martin's and other things, and this was a stack of fat quarters that I got for like 20 bucks. It was amazing. And I also recently found at Michael's these beautiful fat quarters, which are, I guess these are, I don't know, are they fat quarters? I don't know. But these are beautiful too. And I was considering doing these for the sloth, but I kind of like the idea of the blue better. I don't know. Now I'm second guessing myself because I thought about this one first. This was the first one I thought about. was this next to, sorry. See, the dogs have all moved me around. I don't know where I am. Here we go. That was my first idea. And then I thought, well, maybe a smaller one like that. And then I did, but I think the blue is going to do it. I think this blue is going to be better. I mean, it's only going to be the back of it. I think the blue is going to work better. I'm going to do the blue. All right. Unless I change my mind. You'll find out next month because I'm going to take a picture of it. Anyway, so I found all these fabrics and because I had them from my stash drawer. I have fabric drawers from when the last time I really sewed anything significant was during the pandemic. Ugh, remember that period of time? Yes, we're hit by snow, but at least we don't have a pandemic going. And these were masks that I made, and this was the fabric I used. And I made probably about 100 of these. I went to Joann's and bought out all of the fabric on this one pattern. Isn't that fabulous? I love this fabric so much. It's just fabulous. So I don't know. I'll use that for something. Another piece of fabric I found in my stash, which I think I might put, Wacky Girl, I might make this a pillow. And I was thinking I could use this as the back of it. I mean, if I'm going to be starting to sew again, I might as well. Isn't that beautiful? That could be really nice. And I could do some tubing around the edge too, and it would match. It would pick up all these other colors. Yeah, I'm going to maybe think about that. Another pattern fabric that I really love, I found the year of the pandemic in that October when everything shut down. I was going to make some Halloween clothes for work. I was doing Children's Crisis at the time, and I was thinking I could have some Halloween pants to go to kids. I was working with kids with autism and intellectual disability who are in crisis in their homes. And our job was here in Virginia, to go to their homes so that we could keep them out of the hospital, to keep them stabilized and help their families out, so that they, and give them some extra resources and set them up with community services. So that was my job. I worked with the Department of Justice and the state of Virginia for about 6 years, 5.5, 6 years doing that job. Anyway, the year of the pandemic, I was going to make some Halloween pants to go work with kids, because it's fun to entertain them and whatever, kids with autism and intellectual disability, to be able to be the cool person who they'll listen to so you can work with them. Anyway, this was fabric I found that I love. It's great. I like the eye especially. Ooh. Isn't it great fabric? Trick or treat. Yeah. It is phenomenally fun. And at some point I will sew something with this. But I just thought I'd show you that from the fabric stash. There are other ones that I made masks out of. I made masks out of this. I did about 50 of these. I made masks out of this, which was for the 4th of July. Yeah, the pandemic lasted a while, remember? It was pretty bad. So I made those for 4th of July masks, and I think that's it. I think that's all the stash that I have right now. So I definitely wasn't going to go and buy a whole bunch of brand new fabric. That's not going to happen. For those of you who are sad about Joann's closing, it seems that Michael's has taken over the Joann's stash, because last time I was there, when I was getting stuff, the pipe cleaners for the St. Brigid's or Goddess Brigid's cross, there was a lady who had a long line of people, and she was at the sewing table, very reminiscent of Joann's. And there were people with their little tickets getting their fabric cut. So I think Michael's has taken that over. And I don't know, I don't go to Hobby Lobby, so I don't know what Hobby Lobby does. I'm not a Hobby Lobby person. Let's see. That's that. So those are fabrics. Those are things that I'd like to do based on my stitching almanac, right? The other calendar that I do is because I am a sticker girl, and I just, on this calendar, I'm not really charting how much I'm stitching. I'm kind of, I know, it's crazy to have one that just shows the days that I'm stitching. And then I had another one that I really liked that I bought. Do you guys remember me showing you this? Well, this is my January stitching. Same amount of stickers, but because I really like doing the stickers, I just like stickers. So I also, on this one, I am charting when I have what dates that I'm finishing pages. So my whips finishes, the date that the sloth finished, the date that I had a page finish for Soul and Intellect and Colorful Jesus, and when I started Steampunk Cat Daddy. So I have a quick reference on the side of here that the other calendar doesn't have. So I get to do like quick references. Also, it shows when the moon cycles are. So like last night was a full moon. Oh, and this morning I woke up around 2 in the morning and the full moon was gorgeous. We couldn't see it on the 1st, which was when it was properly full, because there were clouds in the sky. It was very like cold and icy clouds up there. We thought, I didn't know if it was going to snow or not, but we couldn't see any moon last night. But then I woke up around 2 and I looked out the window and it was just blasting, and it was like big full snow moon. They call it the snow moon, and it was gorgeous. And yeah, it was like, hey, welcome, Imbolc. There's the full moon. There's the goddess. So that was good. It was really cool. Yeah. So these are really beautiful pages, and I like that there's the sticker for the full moon and the white candles for Imbolc. Yep. So those are my calendars for the year. If you don't know about Just Cross Stitch Magazine, like how could you not know? But they are coming. For those of you who might be snowed in South Carolina, North Carolina, Texas, Georgia, Florida, it might take a while. Maine, people in Maine, New England, it might take you a while to get these in the mail, but they are on the way. I just got mine this weekend. And I know a friend of mine on my Stitchy group who's in Cape Cod. She got hers this week as well. So Just Cross Stitch is on the way. There's one pattern I thought was absolutely wonderful that I thought I would like to maybe, I really like the motifs in this. I'm not sure I'd do the whole thing, but I really like the motifs. Be bold, little coffee bean, be bold. I really like that one a lot. I shared that with a friend recently. And then there's also a new tapestry of 12 stitch alongs that's in here. That's very pretty. That's very pretty. Yeah, I'm not sure I would do it, but it's pretty. And then the other thing I really liked was I'm going to try and do more smaller things. And this was like, I like the idea of this. I'm not sure I would do these colors or this flowers, but I like the idea of doing a small pillow like that. So something like that, a quick stitch that I can do and that I can feel like I can get it finished. Yeah, so these are, let's see, there was one other pattern that I really, oh, yes. I really like these, like, cutesy ones. I have a friend who said, they're cutesy. But I like the cutetsies. Like, I really like doing the sloth, right? So this one is just adorable. I feel like that some days, right? Some days I go and I'm like, okay. I also really like the colors in this one. And it seems like it wouldn't take me very long. It's a quick one. It is 5.25 by 4 4/7. It's 73 high and 69 wide. That's not very big. And if I do it on 18 count, it'll be really cute and small, and I can do a pin cushion or a top or something on it. That'll be cute. So that's the Just Cross Stitch magazine. The other thing I got was I was looking on, I don't know who is stitching this or which floss tube. I'm so sorry. I don't know which one I saw it on or if I saw it on Pinterest. I don't know. But I really liked the pattern, and so I researched the pattern. It's a Linda Gordonnet Jerry pattern, and it's called Queen of Stitching. And I found it on eBay. And I think it was $5, maybe $4.99, something. But I really, really like it. I'll give you a little closer look. So you can see that she's got needles in her hand and bobbin threaders and safety pins and, you know, measuring tape. Yeah, I think this is a really cool pattern. And it's an older one. Symbols of Excellence Publishers, Birmingham, Alabama. 1996 was the publishing date of this. So I thought that was great. I really like that one. The other thing I found online, and I don't know, sometimes I just browse thrift books online, thriftbooks.com, and I will just put in the search category cross stitch books. And one that I don't know if I found it there or if I found it at a thrift shop. Again, I lose track because I collect so much over the month that by the time I talk to you guys, I'm not sure where I bought it, but it could very well have come from thrift books. It's called Patrick Luce's Whimsical Cross Stitch. This is a very cool book. All of the cross stitch patterns are from his patterns, and here's a picture of him. Here's a picture of the guy. I would never attribute this art to this guy. He looks like a bank teller, but he, you know, and maybe he is a bank teller, who knows. But the artist and illustrator since childhood, Patrick Luce has spent his professional years in a variety of creative fields. He has been a successful costume designer for stage and screen, and his crafts, clothing, and home decorating accessories have appeared frequently in national magazines, including Better Homes and Gardens, Country Crafts, Decorative Wood Crafts, and American Patchwork and Quilting. Patrick also designs fabrics and is the author of Fun and Fancy Jackets and Vests. Out of a whim, his company name appropriately describes his original creations. And this is from Sterling Publications, and it was published in the year of our Lord, 1994. So, there it is. And one of the ones that I think is delicious. So here's, for instance, here's his paintings, his art, right? Of a king and a queen. And then here's the picture of how they stitch up. It's cute, right? Oh, it's blurry. There it is. So that's an example of his book. One that I really liked, because it is coming up Valentine's Day, and he has these little quick stitch. Oh, the Halloween witch is really fun. I like her. She's good. Anything Halloween is my jam. But they have, where's the one for, oh, so there are just these little ones for, I really like this for Valentine's Day. Isn't that sweet? I like it because it's like block coloring, but I like the shades of red, and I really like the design around the heart. I think that's really fun. And and it looks like there are beads on here too. And that could again be a quick plastic. You could put it on plastic paper, whatever, stitch it up, put it on a card, something. So if anybody's watching and they get it in the mail as a card, just act surprised. So there's the Cladach. Speaking of Ireland, this is for St. Patrick's Day, of course, but yeah. where's the pattern of it? Oh, there it is. There's the, oh, I know, I can't show the pattern. Hang on. There it is stitched up. Okay. Yeah, you can't, it's hard to see. But again, I like the shading that he does in leaves, and they're very subtle. It's like more than one color. You know, it's not simplistic by any means. They're small, but there's a lot of different colors in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 colors in that small little claddagh. So there you go. Oh, and a really fun Santa. Oh, this is for you, Sarah. Look at that. He's so fun. That is a joyous Santa. That's a very joyful Santa. Anyway, it's called Joyride, actually. Anyway, that was the book I wanted to show you guys, as well as the Just Cross Stitch, as well as the new pattern I got in the mail. I did get a couple new patterns on Etsy, but the one that I am, besides doing this year, the one that I am seriously considering starting up, kitting up, you guys, it's another full coverage. I know. How many times do I have to say full coverage? But I really, really like it. It's from, it's called Pixie Punk 04, which I guess she made it in 2004. I don't know. Anyway, it's by Sit to Stitch on Etsy. So Sit to Stitch on Etsy. And this is called Pixie Punk, and I really like it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at her hair. There's so much to do in this. There's so much to do in this. And these are the colors. These are my colors. I love them. It's 300 by 200. So not desperate, not awful. I think Steampunk Cat Daddy is 444 by 754, I think, high and wide. And that's being done on 18 count. Cream Ada. And Soul and Intellect is on a 22 count even weave, and that's about I want to say it's 400 and something across and 600 and something down. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. I'll show you when I show you the whip, but not too terrible, you know. 300 by 200, not bad. And the pattern is how many pages? It's only 20 pages, which in my world is not very many. which in my world is not very many pages to stitch. So anyway, I think Pixie Punk might be a new start this year. Yeah. Okay, so without much ado left over, let's get into whips. And I guess I've saved this for the end because I have done so much stitching outside of the sloth, which I finished in, how many days did it take me to do Pixie Sloth? I think I can count. I started Pixie Sloth. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think it was 15 days. I stitched this solid over Christmas. So it was 15 days. It was extra 4 days when I bought it, and then I kitted it up, and it was, yeah, about 15 days. I would have to look at last year's calendar to see exactly what day I started, but I think I started on the 28th. And yeah, so 15 days to do this amount. I'm a stitching fiend. I really, when I get into it, I get into it. So, oh, and also, so I said Peekaboo Sloth. I told you who it was by, right? Shine Star Cross Stitch. And that's what it looks like. And this is, I did mine on 18 count. I told you that. Okay. If you're interested in this, it's only 200 by 200. And it says hoop size 16 inches. And it recommends 14 count, but I did it on 18 count. So there you go. That's that. Okay, whips. Here is Soul and Intellect. a before and after. And here is Colorful Jesus, page 1. And drum roll, please. Here's Steampunk Cat Daddy. Page 3 is what I'm working on right now. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, I guess, for this video is I know I was kind of cracking on the Lowry a little bit, right? Earlier in the year, last year, I did a comparison of different kinds of hoop holders and stands and things. And so I compared the Daylight stand with the Lowry stand. And I said, you know, for my money, Daylight is okay. I have recently bought an extension bar for the Lowry, as well as a corner piece for it. And I'm going to show you that now. And it was well worth the price. I have to say, it made all the difference in the world. One of my complaints about the Lowry was that the bar was too short and I couldn't get it over the sofa for me. Especially now that I have a new stitching chaise lounge thing that I'm sitting on right now to film. Anyway, this is the bar. It's the extension bar. And it's this length is the same, but this is longer. So this part is longer, which makes it really, really a lot easier to be able to come over into my lap to stitch. The other thing that I bought, which I think is totally worth it because I've actually used it a lot when I was stitching Sloth, I was on the sofa watching TV and stitching a lot, is this piece right here. This is called a corner holder. So what happens is, and I'll just show you, here, I'll just, so you stick your thing like that. So you're stitching like that. You're holding it on the corner and you're stitching that way, which really, really, really has made the difference for me. So instead of having it flat straight across, and I was always like trying to jiggle it and make it comfortable for my hands, this corner piece is a game changer for me. I actually now use my Lowry. So thank you to the British company who makes Lowry stands, and for this and for the extension bar, and thank you for I guess it's Volcano Stitching that I bought it from originally, and then they had this discounted, and then I bought the extension bar from someone on that was also discounted. So you can find, you don't have to buy the original fancy color stuff or whatever. You can find them. There are people that will discount them 10, 15, 20%, and they'll do free shipping. I know they can be expensive. The company Lowry is in England, and they are wonderful. And I've been converted. I just had to let you know. For all those people who thought that I was a Lowry hater, I'm not a Lowry hater. I just found it difficult at first to navigate these. You know, I just found it difficult to navigate. And now, actually, I still like my Daylight stand. Do not get me wrong. I do like my Daylight stand. I just, for this chaise lounge that I have now, and where I stitch in front of, it just works out great. I'm putting it back on my, sorry, I'm just putting it back right now. Pardon me, that's distracting. So, yes, there we have it, guys. There we have it. It takes a while to get me to edit these videos, and so if you have made it this far, I am so very grateful for you being here. One moment, please. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end, and I hope you guys have a beautiful Imbolc and a wonderful halfway solstice, half solstice into. We'll be getting into spring soon. We just have to get through a couple more Arctic blasts, and I hope you too have wonderful neighbors like I do that help me plow out. and helped me get my car out and all sorts of things. And I just came home last night, and one of my neighbors, I took him and his family this a huge coffee cake from one of our grocery stores that makes them really well, and I took it over to him to say thank you. And then this morning he went across, I had cleaned out my stairs, but then this morning I came out and he had chipped out the pathway from my stairs to my car. I had been just using that rock salt stuff so I wouldn't slip. He actually chipped it all out, and now there's a clean pathway to my car. I mean, honestly, people are so kind. I don't know. I keep giving people thank yous, and here's a cake, and here's a this, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I come back and they do something else wonderful. I guess that's kind of how it is. The more we give, the more we give. Anyway, I'm grateful for all of you, from me and Taki and the dogs here in my stitch room. Here he is. Mwah! There's the Taki. Thank you guys for watching. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful and at ease. May your stitching be joyful. And may your electricity, if it's off, may it come back on very soon. And may you hang in there until spring, because it's coming. I'll see you next month. I'll see you next time. Keep stitching. Be happy. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can email me at campbellcraftstitcher@gmail.com, or you can leave a message in the comments. It's always lovely to see you guys. Thanks so much for spending the time with me again. Bye.